Okay, and we are back once again. This time we're talking video games, and this will lead right into our discussion about the big news of the day, which is the Xbox One reveal / announcement. So I'll try to get through this stuff quick so we can get right to that. EA just announced, or just recently told us that they're no longer doing the online passes. The online passes are the little card you got in a new game. You have to plug in the code. It'll give you access to the online features. They essentially said that it doesn't work. It wasn't worth it, and the grief we got was outweighing the benefit we were getting from it.
Okay.
So, which is good to see.
Good,
they were
yeah.
they were the big leaders in this whole stuff anyway. Sony kind of adopted the same thing. So it'll be interesting to see if the rest of the major developer, like Activision, doesn't do it. Call of Duty, you don't need online pass. It'll be, I think, interesting to see what the rest of the main publishers do. They'll probably follow in the footsteps and just probably can it.
Yeah.
Especially if what we're hearing about the new systems is true. So, moving on, we'll talk Nintendo stuff. Some more news that the Wii U is in trouble. EA has came out and said with a interview with Kotaku that they have no games, 0 games in development for the Wii U at this time. So last week we talked about Madden, and we said that was a bad news. I actually just found out that this week that the last time a game console, Madden didn't come out for a game console was, I'll give you a guess.
Madden?
Yeah, last time Madden didn't come out for a console. Which console was it? Not the time, the console.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like maybe N64 or something like that.
Dreamcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. And what happened to Dreamcast?
Yeah,
what
so
happened
that
to
doesn't
Sega?
spell good things. Not good things. So let's hope that that's not what happens with Nintendo, and the Wii U. We all want it to succeed. We want to see everyone succeed.
I don't know if
it's
we
better
do.
for
Do
everyone.
Do we?
I think, I want to see everyone succeed. Having 3 major,
Yeah,
2 publisher, yeah, it's better for everyone.
I mean, the Nintendo consoles, the last couple, the Wii and the Wii U, aren't on the same level. They aren't even close to on the same level.
No, but they're just going in a different direction. I feel like, but now that direction might not be the one that they want to go in.
Nintendo as a developer, like if they could just develop games for the other systems, though, I would probably, if you could play Mario on PS3, so I wouldn't have to buy a different system to play my Mario Galaxy and like all that stuff.
You mean as a publisher?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry.
As a publisher, yeah.
And then, or like you said, we were talking another like a couple weeks ago. If Nintendo as a publisher could make like iPhone games and stuff like that, they would make ridiculous money. Everybody would buy Mario for the iPhone.
I agree.
And Mario Kart for the iPhone.
I'd be right there. I think it's a matter of time. At this point, especially if this trend
Yeah,
continues.
so maybe they don't need to make consoles anymore. Maybe because they really are relying on their
first party
stuff, like their Nintendo specific stuff. So if they can just market that and sell that to everybody else, they'd probably make arguably more money. It's just that much more accessible.
Maintain your handheld, keep the 3DS, and just make games for the consoles that work, man. Because like, people will buy that stuff regardless of what console it's on. Because people that buy Mario will probably also have an Xbox or PS3.
Yeah, that's true.
So
the only thing that they're getting out of then is like the Wii Sports Resort. But like, there's also like the Kinect is pretty solid, so they could do stuff with that for like the whole motion control stuff that they've been doing with the Wii and Wii U.
I agree. No, I mean, I just worry about Nintendo. I mean, growing up as a Nintendo fan, it's just not. I don't like seeing that happen. You know what I mean? Like,
fair enough.
I want them to succeed. I wish they had come out with a console that was rivaling Xbox One and PS4, but alas, that's not the case. But it's a little bit of good news. Ubisoft is prototyping Zombie U sequel. So if
Have you played
people
Zombie
were fans
U?
of that, I've played just a piece of it.
Okay, I have.
Do you like it?
I have it here. I haven't played through the game yet, but I've played a decent amount of it. And it's
And you
kinda,
like it?
It's hard to get used to just the controls. It's so unconventional, this system. But it is cool because you have like your map on the screen of the Wii U controller, and then you're moving around on that screen. And there's like you have to be working both screens at some points to like do your radar and stuff like that. It's fun.
No, I get it. It's cool.
It's not as refined of a game that like the gameplay itself gets kind of repetitive, and it's just like you're going and you're finding stuff, and then there's a zombie after you, and you hit it with your cricket bat or whatever. Maybe I haven't played the game enough. Maybe I haven't given it enough of a chance. Maybe if I get further in the game, it becomes either more challenging or just different. But at this point, it seems like I'm doing a lot of the same crap.
From what I heard, it's really not, and that's very much the same of what is going on. And
well, then I'm
really, yeah.
Now that you told me that, I'm probably not going to play the game ever again.
Well, then try. You might as well. Finish
I mean, it's one of those things. Like, if I have some spare time and like literally nothing else to do, that's what's going to happen. But I haven't had that kind of time in a long time, so I don't know if it's going to happen.
So a little bit of more good news, if you're a Nintendo fan, is that we already know that they're not doing a traditional press conference at E3, but they will be offering demos for all their games that will be at E3 at Best Buys around the country. Assuming that means the US, but I'm sure they'll have it in Canada as well.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It kind of brings the people who can't come to the go to E3 and visit their booth the ability to try out these games. That's kind of cool.
And one thing I'll say about Nintendo, they've always that's new specifically. Like they are very creative and they are very much about being outside the box. So them not doing their E3 and doing something like that, something that nobody really expected, and like it could be beneficial to them or for them rather.
It's kind of like if you PlayStation Home, which was
that did not work at all.
No, it didn't. But PlayStation Home had during E3 had a virtual a Sony booth that you could go and play the demos there. Mm-hmm. This is kind of like that, but
in real life,
but less lame, I think. The big news for me, which was yesterday, was the it's another beer.
Yep. You heard
that. The big news for me was the it was loud.
It was right beside my computer.
The Arkham Origins trailer, which we saw a teaser for early last week, which had Deathstroke in it. Now we saw the whole thing, which not only had Deathstroke, it had Deadshot and Black Mask in it. Made by Blur, the same guys who did the Batman Arkham City one that they did the reveal at E3 with. They also did the DCU trailer. They've done all the big
the cool cinematic trailers.
They've done
the Star Wars ones, the Old Republic.
You do those ones too.
Okay, good, awesome.
What really, I was talking about with Jeremy the other day was that I would just love to see a movie done by Blur that was this that looked like that and it was just a Batman movie. That would just make me so happy.
What's that noise? Is that your phone?
Oh shit! Hold on, that's my iPad. That's my.
Get mad at me for not putting my shit up.
Okay, 2 seconds. Phone's on silent, iPad isn't apparently, which is all the way across the room. Anyway.
I mean, that'd be sweet to see. Of course it would. Actually, after I thought that first, the DC one would have been sweet. Not like they've already done the DC trailers. Don't make it just a Batman movie. Make it like a Justice League movie.
No, DC. No. Just a Batman movie that looks like the Arkham things, because those look so much better than just those DCU ones. This looks better, it looks absolutely better. Go back and look. This has it just looks
okay. But even then, they could make it look just as good, but have more people in it. I'm to the point right now. I hate to say this, but I'm almost sick of Batman stuff. Is everything everywhere is constant Batman stuff. And DC has a huge roster of other characters that are just as cool and more powerful and
just as cool, Dan.
Just as cool. Just as cool. Obviously, Batman is one of the baddest characters, but there's so much room for other stories that right now is all Batman because Batman's so hyper popular. I'm getting a little bit sick of it. I'd rather see a Green Lantern story. I'd rather see, Superman even. And Superman is pretty well known. He's pretty mainstream. And I would find it refreshing to have a cool I'm pumped for Man of Steel. Because of that.
Oh yeah.
Not just because of that, but just in general. But you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. I agree, but I would just still rather see a Batman movie.
That and also watching the Old Republic trailers, I remember thinking I would love because when we were watching it as a video game, I was like, that'd be sweet if a game could look that way and play that way. But
one day.
But a Star Wars movie like that would be awesome.
No, I agree.
Those lightsaber battles in those trailers are phenomenal.
Oh yeah, they're just like that sword fight was with Batman. How cool was that? When he's using his gauntlets and stuff. That was anyway. Out of the trailer came a bunch of previews from a bunch of different outlets. And out of those previews, we got a bunch of conflicting news now because early last week we had Kevin Conroy at the Dallas Comic-Con. Mm-hmm. He appeared. He did an appearance and he talked about he's been working on Origins for months now. But out of the previews, we got news that Roger Craig Smith will be voicing Batman in Origins. So now we have two people who said they're voicing. Well, although to be fair, I guess Kevin Conroy didn't say he'd be Batman. But who else would he be? So it's Batman.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know.
And Roger Craig Smith. So which leads me to believe that you have either the game is a series of flashbacks.
Yeah.
Kevin Conroy is the main Batman, and then you flash back to a younger version of himself, or it's like an internal monologue, or something along those lines. I'm not sure, but he's involved in some way. So if he's not voicing the main Batman, it's something, right? We also got news that the Joker would be involved, and that he would be voiced by Troy Baker. Troy Baker is a veteran voice guy. Ironically, he played Batman in the Lego Batman games.
Okay.
So now he's done Batman and will do Joker, which is
that's kind of weird. But whatever.
I don't think most people haven't have probably not say that they've done that. But he's done so much stuff. He's super good, so I wouldn't be worried about that. Roger Craig Smith, though, he's Ezio from the Assassin's Creed games.
Gay.
And he's also Chris Redfield.
I hate Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I know you don't like that stuff. Moving on, though. Sony is saying that they're not anticipating a loss of the PlayStation 4. Meaning that when the PlayStation 3, even when they were launching it at $700, they were still taking a financial hit every time they sold one. So they essentially said that's because they're not building their own cell chip like they did with the PS3.
Yep.
And the hardware is now cheaper. They won't have to take a loss, which I think spells good news as far as pricing for the PS4.
Yeah, for sure.
There was a leaked campaign slogan that came from a leaked commercial script that for the PS4 that it might be called, or their slogan might be called "Greatness Awaits," and it's been confirmed by a couple people. So I'm looking forward to what they do with that. Speaking of which, there was also a teaser for what the PS4 actually looks like. That was released yesterday, just before the Xbox
doesn't really
thing.
show you much. It's just a bunch of really quick blurry images.
Yeah, guess what? It's a black box.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
PS4 is black. Great.
Gran Turismo 6 is coming to PS3 later this year. Will feature expanded connectivity with mobile devices, whatever that means. We're not big racing fans here, but it's a huge franchise, so we should be not necessarily excited, but excited for people who like that stuff.
Sure.
Activision is super, super rich. They have $46 billion in cash in the bank. They own Blizzard, so you can thank StarCraft, and they obviously have
Warcraft.
Call of Duty. Sorry, what did I say? StarCraft and Warcraft, yeah.
Both, but more Warcraft, I think.
Yeah. And obviously Call of Duty, which is the biggest entertainment property in the world. They make more money than movies do. So, speaking of Warcraft just lost 1.3 million subscribers, which brings it down to 8 million, which is still the number one subscription-based MMO. I wouldn't be surprised if World of Warcraft goes free to play within the next couple.
That's a pretty big hit.
Yeah, I mean, even for someone that has had at 1.9.3 million, 8 million at 1.3 million, that's still a big chunk of your customer base. So I wouldn't be surprised if they went free to play. I know that the Lord of the Rings MMO went free to play, and they're making more money than they ever did. So it seems like it's the way to go for MMOs these days. What else do we have? A couple more things. A poll by Ed Boon, the infamous Ed Boon, who runs NetherRealm, who makes the Mortal Kombat games, put out a poll asking people who they would like to see as a character in Injustice. no surprise that Martian Manhunter was the winner.
Yeah. Scarecrow is second place, which is ridiculous to me.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't understand that. The Ouya is out. It's being sent out to backers. I don't know if I didn't back it. You didn't back it.
Wow.
It's fairly underpowered. The coolest thing it can do is play emulators, which is, I mean, that's cool, but whatever.
Yeah.
New details from Bungie's latest game, which is Destiny. Obviously, it was announced that it'll be coming to Xbox One, which it hadn't said, but they couldn't say before, but now they announced today, obviously. For more info on classes and locations like the Destroyed Earth and Destroyed Moon, stuff like that. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, check that out. And that would lead us quickly into the biggest news of the day, and probably the biggest news of the month as far as gaming news, the Xbox announcement. Hey guys, thanks for listening to this excerpt from our Tower of Babble podcast. If you want to hear more, you can find the rest at towerofbabblepodcast.com and on iTunes and Stitcher. But we want to know what you think, so send us questions or concerns to towerofbabblepodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter @TowerBabblecast and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TowerBabblecast.